took this first example here to demonstrate s plus 4 cubed. If you recognize that this is a binomial cube, our expansion pattern is going to be 1, 3, 3, 1. Our first term is s, so I'm going to take s cubed, s squared, s to the first, s to the 0, so I leave it off the last term. My second term is of the binomial is a positive 4, so I'm going to start on the right, highest power, and move. So I have 4 cubed, 4 squared, 4 to the first, 4 to the 0. So again, I leave it off the first term. And when I do this, I can simplify what I have. 4 times 3 is 12. That's an s squared. 4 squared is 16 times 3 is 48 s. And then 4 cubed is 64. And so that gives me my expanded form. Through this, I would first recognize I have the binomial cube. So my expansion pattern is 1, 3, 3, 1. I'm going to start with my first term, 6s. From left to right, start with the highest power, then squared, and then to the first. Then I'm going to take my negative 1, so that will include the sign. From right to left, start with the highest power, 3, 2, 1, 0. And so when I expand what I have, 3 cubed is 216, s cubed. Here my 6s squared becomes 6 squared, s squared. My negative, a negative 3 times 36 gives me a minus 108. Carry along the s squared. Here I square the negative 1, gives me a positive 1. 3 times 6s is plus 18s. And then finally, a negative 1 cubed is negative 1 times a 1, gives me my value, negative 1. And so this would be my expanded form. And now, not all students are going to remember the pattern. I just want to show you, if you forget the pattern or you can't figure out what you did wrong, or if you want to solve it as a secondary method to check your answer, what you could do on this is you could just distribute. If you think of this as 6s minus 1 times 6s minus 1 times 6s minus 1, what you could do is you could just apply the square rules for 1. So you'd square the first, 36s squared, double the product of the terms. So 6s times a negative 1 is negative 6s, doubled is negative 12s. And then square the last term, plus 1. So this would be the expanded form here. And if you took 6s minus 1, and put that third factor in front, what you could then do is just distribute. So if you distribute through here, 6 times 36 is 216 s squared, or s cubed. Distribute through here, you get negative 72 s squared, and distribute to the last term, plus 6s. And when you distribute the negative 1, you get a minus 36 s squared. Minus a minus becomes plus 12s. And then a minus 1 at the end. And so what you see is you get the same thing, 216s cubed minus 108 s squared plus 18s minus 1. Either way, you're going to wind up with the same values.